All right, hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Looks like the sound is going through fine, but you know how I always like to just check up on it. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to the accelerated dollar decline. Um, yeah. We talked about reversing. It's reversing. We haven't really had the major kind of big shoe drop like we were talking about, but for the most part, kind of in preparation for what I kind of assume is what's coming next week. And I think everybody else does as well. We have pretty much dollar reversal. Some of it is the yen as well. But you can see pound yen down 33 or 31. That's nothing enormous, right? It's nothing, that we need to kind of highlight, right? It's more than, it's more than something like the euro pound, right? 7 is really nothing over there. But it's not a major reversal like we were talking about seeing. So, not there yet, but you can see that the dollar yen high flyer starting of the week. It was up 240. Now it is only down 127. So it has not fully retraced back again. But I do want to bring up dollar Swiss is down again, another 103 pips in there. So continuing to decline, and then the dollar CAD we also mentioned as well as being another opportunity, another reversal opportunity. And it is, right? It's down another 100 today. We haven't seen oil, back up to where it could be, but oil is definitely, it has some movement out there. So, interesting Friday. I wouldn't say that, I don't know. I wouldn't say that, opportunity is going to be, plentiful today. A lot of this movement has already happened in the European session, and unfortunately, when we see that, we tend to, have a little bit of a, slower weekend. Friday trades are always a little bit different. So it is what it is. Now, this morning so far in the data, there's been a number of things out there. Below repeats favors. 3.75 to 4 rate by the end of the year. Again, these are things that we basically. I think at this point, I think everybody is pretty much in agreement. It's been said. It is the 0.75 is what's happening. And I guess they could change it at the last minute. Wouldn't be, I guess, uncommon. It wouldn't be the most surprising thing that the Fed has ever done. But I think at this point, the market consensus is in. Whether that's enough or not enough, who knows? Now, the unemployment data for the CAD. This definitely came in much, much lower than expected. Supposed to be 5, so they did expect a little bit of a jump from 4.9 to 5. 5.4 is high, and I wouldn't actually be surprised if there's a bit of a correction next time. Again, bit more, a bit greater than, and then what we typically would see. That's quite a raise. So see where this one goes. Also, they were supposed to be gaining some jobs, and they lost 39,000 additional jobs. Now, obviously, much smaller number than the United States. We're talking about the 200,000 mark for us. Again, just the difference of scale, right? The size of the economy much, much larger. The working force much, much larger. Big difference, obviously, between the two countries. So, so that's not the most pleasant data, but you can see right now, dollar CAD is down 103. But you can see in the last 60 minutes, it's retracing, and it's because the data is so bad. So it's kind of like a fight of which one is going to be weaker of the two, right? Excuse me. Which one will be the weakest, right? So, we've seen that with the pound and the yen in the last week as well. Battle of the weakest. And then at 12 o'clock today, we do have some, additional members speaking, George as well as Waller. So could provide some kind of afternoon movement, although, with Bullard kind of giving all his information, kind of his messages this morning, and knowing what we saw from pretty much all the big names in the Fed, I don't know that they're going to say, what are they going to say? Oh, I favor one? No, because if anybody was going to say that, it was going to be Bullard. So that has not been said. So at this point, I can't even think of anything that they would be like, oh, yeah, it's going to be this. It's like, it's not much there. All the big names have already kind of said what they're going to say. So I think at this point, we're going to just be kind of locked into trends. I don't think there's going to be any major surprises today as far as kind of where things go. And remember, it's a weekend. European traders will be ducking out around 11 o'clock today, if not already. You know, just, getting locked down a little bit, right? Getting locked down. All right. So, hold on one sec. I'm going to pop up over here. What is it doing? Gotta love when that happens. All right. So, yeah, as far as news goes, a lot of comments, again, coming through from the Bank of Japan. No actual intervention, but kind of just reaffirming what we saw yesterday in some of the mentions and context of what they talked about. Talking about extreme volatility, I think is, I think that was an interesting way to put it, right? I would agree. Yes, is it extreme volatility? Yeah, I would say that that's true. That is in here, right? And typically, again, central banks are trying to avoid that extreme volatility. So, is it a tradable event today? No, right? But I think it's important. We're ready to take necessary steps if current FX moves continue without ruling any options out. What that is, i.e., that intervention that I keep talking about. I still think that it comes in. When? I don't know. I don't know how much higher it would need to go. I don't know if this is them just trying to telegraph that it is coming so it doesn't get, way out of hand. But I feel like at this point, I feel like they're telling us it's coming, right? We'll see. Don't know what day it's going to come. And again, there's another one over here talking about the rapid moves. This is the one we just saw. This one is closely watching it with a sense of high urgency. So, sharp currency fluctuations are undesirable. So everything that we're seeing, right? Everything that we're seeing is talking about further steps that they can take to kind of help it. So, again, getting a reprieve today, seeing this down 115, that's probably why we're seeing the movement. But we'll see where we can go with it. All right. Obviously, no news tomorrow. Sunday, obviously no news. And then Monday morning, bright and early, we have that GDP for the pound. Supposed to be a little bit positive, which would be some great news for the pound. But I feel like this is also setting up for a little bit of a disappointment. Whenever you have something more in the positive light, and it's supposed to be on the good side, it has the ability for a disappointment. So we'll see. We'll see. This was another one too. I like this. The E-Minister's call on a cap on cheaper power generators, right? More work is needed on the imported gas price idea. We've seen this has been kind of the trend that we've been following, right? This is an interesting one too. Right, we saw that Austria doesn't support the price cap on Russian gas. We don't really know much more about it. It's just kind of a headline, but I feel like there's at least one dissenter already. And I feel like there will be other smaller countries that are also talking about doing it, looking at kind of long-term implications of it and what could, further, what other damage could they do? And remember, putting price caps and if they are cut off completely, they know that they need that supply from Russia. So again, trying to play the kind of negotiator middle of the path. So I don't think they'll be the last one. I think there'll be others in there as well. So let's see, this just came out. So 3.75 to 4 by the end of 2022. It says good CPI report shouldn't affect September Fed call. Again, I think they've already said this, that it doesn't matter what that says. Markets are underpricing higher for longer rates. That's interesting. I lean more strongly to a 7. Yeah. Yep. Labor market is tight. Lots of wage pressure. Urgent front loading. Sooner than better. I love this. Front loading. We're like 3 in. I think it's too late to front load at this point. But that's interesting. The market is underpricing higher for longer. Interesting. All right. So here's the dollar, right? So yesterday we were sitting back up in this range, and we talked about a target being down here at 109. You can see we ended up tagging it last night at around 10 o'clock. We hit that target, went further all the way down to 108, and then came back up again. And we're hovering right around that 109, almost completely flat. Oops, hold on. Sorry, I hit a button. Hold on. What did I do? Okay. All right. All right, there you go. I was like, wait, it's not working. So dollar's obviously affecting stuff out there. VIX obviously pushing down. None of the news out there is, you know, nothing. I wouldn't say anything that got to super worry about. So yeah, diving right into the currencies because, like I said, there's not much else there. So here's that kind of push we saw. Now we did have a 61.8 error that we talked about. That we did have a confirmation from it. You can see it had some issues in there. It didn't actually give us the reversal, and it hit the reversal really, really late last night. It's unfortunate it didn't turn. I thought it was pretty decent, and I liked the run up to that level. Not much we can do about it now, but like I said, we did have the chop back and forth in there. We may be able to use that for a trade for a short lower, just because of the run up in there, and it was a decent amount of movement. It was about 30-something pips move. So at this point, we can take the smaller level out. You can see that the 61.8 and actually this old level over here ended up kind of going just a little bit above it, which sometimes, happens sometimes, and then it pulled back to the same level. So had you taken a short, again, you should have been looking for it. So I do think there is a little bit of a reversal setup right here. So I would actually put this one as more of a red. It's a small zone, right? This is a zone of about 9 pips, right? 9 pips. And really, this is kind of taking advantage of this strong push with really kind of no pullbacks whatsoever. There's a little kind of sneaky trade in here. And again, we've pushed the original zone formation on the pullback was not bad, and we pushed it pretty deep. So there's your 1 to 3. So I would say that this is probably a trade more for kind of next week. I don't know. We could probably hit it today. We may get the confirmation. It's early enough today. It's only 9:45. And again, I'll just steal this one. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll need this one for next time anyway. Oops. You know what? Let's put that there. Here. And then I'll just copy this one here. There we go. Yeah, so that's Aussie dollar, and all this is just we've had that massive bounce of dollar weakness coming in. I think it turns and rolls a little bit back sooner. Aussie yen. So funny enough, yesterday we were sitting. Where are we at on the 8th? Down in this level right here. And we talked about some areas. You can see the 78 got hit and came back and grabbed it and kind of bounced around. So, I mean, we can take it off now. It kind of chopped through enough. You can see this old level up top, again, was a bottom, and then it's kind of at a top right now. We had drawn a line at 97.91.7, and it came up to 97.92. So we missed it by 0.003. Right. And it ended up being the reversal, right? It hit that late last night. And again, a lot of those reversals came in around 11 o'clock last night. And we pushed back down, and now we're really, we're a little higher than what we were yesterday. I guess we were sitting, let's see, yesterday at 10, about 30 pips higher. So not, nothing earth-shattering. I would say right now, being in the middle of the range, we know we're going to have some sellers back up top again. The zone up top isn't really the best. It's one from before. It's about 13 pips. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. All right. I don't know. Problem is we're right in the middle, right? Problem is we're right in the middle of this one. So let's clean it up for next week. Do we want to use that one? I don't think we can use this one at all. Oh, excuse me. Nope. Nope. We had to go back to something real big. Yeah, we're not using that one. That's unfortunate. So we're going to kind of have to find a new top on it. Let's see. We're going to put... Probably needs to go a little bit on the other side. Probably needs to go just a little bit higher. Let's see. 30 pips. Hmm. 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 Eh. We could get a reversal out of this one. It's close enough, I think. It's about 30 pips. We could technically move that in 40 minutes. We need a little bit of a help, but this actually could be a later kind of roll up, into like noonish time and then turn reverse back down. So keep this one on your radar. I think it could be decent, but 97.76. Look for it to push back down. I don't think this will be more of a trade for next week. If we can come down and break through the buyers here, breaking through that 96.56 could be something decent there. Euro dollar. So Euro dollar finally broke through. Now we had a confirmation here. This is another one of those ones that hit it super late last night, and you can see we're having problems with it now, and it kind of retraced off of it. Thought we would get a better reaction off of it. I mean, it did spend, I don't know, 4 hours or something, 5 hours here, and again, just a very brief touch. Thought we would get more. We didn't. It ended up going higher, and it actually missed the 50 as well. So nobody's getting into this trade. This one was just kind of missing in every kind of every piece of this one. Yeah. Let's see. Where do we go with this now? I guess we adjusted a little bit higher, and maybe with this is we turn this into a Sunday night trade. These are I hate when a lot of these zones are hit at like 11 o'clock because that's not really anybody's session. It's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Let's pull this off now. Let's just go real simple with this one. Yeah, I'm going to say I think parity is where the target is again today. I think we roll back down. It's trying to fight, but running into a lot of sellers. I think this one probably turns and rolls back down. Hmm. 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 Now it's kind of like, what do we do with it? Yeah. Let's see. How much does it have to move? It's got 50 pips to run on the downside. I don't think we're really. I just don't. I don't think there's enough. I'm not willing to take a short off the low side because I don't necessarily like the top of this one. I think it rolls back down. If I had to make a call, I'd say yeah, it probably turns and rolls back to the downside. But we're kind of sitting right in the middle of this last big push. So you can see the 50% is hovering right around parity. I think that's probably where it comes back down to. So yeah. Yeah. So, euro pound. You can see euro pound, absolutely no trend. We had the move yesterday morning, and we came down, and now we're literally just flatline. We're macing back and forth again. You can see the euro pound again, 4 pips in 24 hours. The chart also is looking exactly the same way. Not a whole lot to trade on it. I would say right now, based off the lower highs, lower lows, it looks like it will come a bit lower. Again, it may test the 23.6 and then again potentially turn and pop to the top side, but. Again, is it a great one? Not really. Yeah, it's just this is Friday. It's like, oh God, we've had enough. We're done. So there's only so much you can do with it. So no real trade set up here. Euro yen, we are pulling back again. We had the one trade. We established a new top, so we can actually let's take some of these off for next week. You can see we missed actually we were talking about 142.57 yesterday. It missed it. Hold on. Hold on one sec, guys. Popped up again. Okay. Sorry. All right. So yeah, we missed it by a little bit. 142.57 was where we were looking for this one to get in. Unfortunately, missed it by just a little tad. And again, it was what? Super early morning. Didn't quite. It was a little bit late of a reversal. It was a 6:30 versus a 5:30. It was again decent setup, but it just didn't come to fruition. So, hold on. Wait, what? Sorry, getting all kinds of pop-ups. What? What are you doing? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Why is it doing this? Hold on. Sometimes the software is great. Sometimes the software is not great. Anyway, missed our trade. Again, let's move the adjustment. Let's adjust back up to the top. Let's kind of bring things up again. That would be our new piece. You can see 23.6 didn't do anything on this one. So, I mean, if you were looking for the 23.6 to help, it didn't really help you much on this. Again, that happens. Not the end of the world. Nothing you can do about it. I would say the 142.57 is still decent. Again, we got to be able to clear through those buyers. I think we should be able to make it. I don't think it. Yeah, we shouldn't have too much of a hard time. I would mark off the top. Again, this is an area for this weekend, particularly going into early next week on Monday morning, particularly in the European session. I think the European session will kind of give us a little bit of a hand with it. And again, kind of makes sense, goes along with the kind of the text that we're hearing out of Japan, of them doing something that all options are not off the table. But I think, again, we maintain a bearish outlook on Euro Yen. I think that's probably the best way to kind of look at it. There will be some sellers coming in here in the middle. Again, if you are looking for something today, it kind of looks like the Aussie Yen as well. And I just wanted to point this out on there. In looking at this, you can see that the 50%, look at all the traffic right here between the 50 and 61.8. There'll be people using that one. So if you are looking for something and you are going to trade in the afternoon, I think there's a potential reversal coming in at 143.76. Take it for what it's worth. Like I said, it's not a huge risk level. You're looking at about a little bit less than 20, but very, very common area. If you wanted to shrink it up a little bit, you could. Just be aware that the 50%ers are going to come in pretty hard on this one because it is Friday. So if they do come in, they're going to want to get out pretty quickly. Okay. Pound dollar. So pound dollar, we talked about 116.43 yesterday. You can see we tagged it at 4:30, a little bit early of a trade. And again, there was actually at 6 o'clock right here. You can see there's a pullback of confirmation. So we talked about being through this level. This basing right here would have kind of ruined a lot of the trade setups if you had this one set up. We knew that 116 was going to be a psychological level. Seeing this pause right ahead of it at 115.86, moving sideways, you're looking at this and you're like, oh, it's going to punch through. Right? It was building up buyers right there. Right? They're fighting. It's like, oh, here we go. And then it finally punched through, went up and tagged the 116.41. Now, we mentioned that before yesterday, so you guys have probably seen that one. Is what it is, right? Not much we can do with it right now. It's already moved off of it from 4 o'clock down, and now we're seeing a reversal back again. So a couple things we can change on it. We can bring this area up, and again, that old level, which we're kind of basing off of now, there's kind of a little bit of a Harry Potter here, and I think that this is probably not the worst trade out there. Again, 23.6 would have been a level a lot of people got long in, and they got stopped out. Now it's pushed back up to that same level, and we've kind of had that basing in there. I think if we base a little bit through, and again at 10:30, I think that's where we see this reversal. And again, only 10:30 because at 10:30 is where a lot of the tides change. You could say that overall we've had dollar weakness. Again, dollar strength coming back versus the pound. But overall, if you look at like the dollar index, the dollar's been generally weak. So if we end on more of a strong note today, that will help continue to push this lower, targeting probably down here at 115.26. I would say that's probably the target of where shorts are kind of looking for, right? But right now, kind of the same problem. In this big push, we're kind of sitting in the middle. We're not close to the top. Again, we could take these off because of this basing level here, just to clean the trade up. And again, we knew that those were higher time frame levels. But we could kind of establish a new level up here. And again, 116.41. It's not a new level. We've had it on there all week. Okay. Pound yen. So here's pound yen. Obviously, I have to adjust the trade a little bit. This did go up to there, the top of the zone. You can see we hit this late last night, and we did get the rollback in the Asian session. Again, this is a level we talked about yesterday. We had some confirmations off of it. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, 1 to 3 is right there. So if you had taken this trade from yesterday morning setup, you're out. A little bit of risk. Again, this is not necessarily my style. On a technical basis, sure, I loved it. And if the conversation yesterday was, yes, it's 38 pips. I don't like taking 38 pips worth of risk. Could you? Excuse me. Yes, absolutely. It's just your position sizing is off. It's the same. Every trade is the same. It's just you have to position size it differently. I just personally don't like it. But if you did take it, you were good to go. You banked 114 in the opposite direction. So pretty deep. And then again, this is a zone we talked about pushing it deep down here at targets and having targets at 164.40. We tagged that at 6 o'clock this morning, 6:30, and then reversed back a little bit. So A lot of this setup is already done. Again, when you have these big movers in the morning, if you caught it late last night, awesome trade. You did a great job with kind of an overnight position on this one. But the trade is over now. Would I take much more on it? I would say, again, remain bearish. I do think that there's more weakness coming in for the yen. I'm sorry, more strength coming in for the yen. As far as what we do with the pound, I don't think the pound has any strength really coming into it whatsoever. So, again, take it for what it's worth. Bearish mindset on this one, as again, more of a bullish mindset on the yen. But I don't think there's a trade set up this morning. Not the one that's going to work. Dollar CAD. So there's a dollar CAD. We had talked about a Harry Potter and a break, and again, that's quite an aggressive entry for a Harry Potter trade. It dropped. It did base in one candle and pull back, so it hit it very, very fast. It went past our profit target. We were looking for 130.10, and it came all the way down to 129.83. We did miss this level. We had mentioned again another potential setup for a short when we finally do get a base here. You can see that's exactly what it tagged off of, which is fine. As with everything, it's, these targets, it could bounce one or two more times. It's when we finally get the break below the base and the pullback like this. But if it was two candles, it would be better than one. So fast trade. But if you guys caught it, it went through this one at about 10, 11 o'clock last night. Again, another one of those overnight based trades. It's moved, and we talked about this weakness and the reinflation of oil. Oil's up 3% today. So is it back to normal levels? No, but again, a 3% day is a lot of strength in the CAD, and we've seen that one rally. And then again, since the bad data has come out, obviously it has pushed up. It's more CAD weakness-based data. So, yeah, take it for what it's worth. I'd say right now, we're at an area where there are sellers. Let's see if there's any fib traders coming into this one for the day. Not yet. But I would say, look at this here now. On the way down, we did form a level of basing, kind of a pullback base, and then it tumbled very, very fast. That happens to be at the 50. So if we do continue to rally up with dollar strength, there could be another potential rollover on that one. But if you caught this Harry Potter, again, if you guys caught this one, you can see here where it pulled down, came up and touched it, and boom, you're out on the other side. And that was about a 55 pip. That's about a 55 pip, short. All right. And it tagged right into, again, an area where you would have definitely wanted to make sure you got out from it. So overall, not necessarily a bad trade. Dollar Swiss also continuing to deteriorate. And we talked about having a target yesterday, hitting it. We hit it last night at 10 p.m. 96.75. And we pushed even lower. We talked about a little Harry Potter in here, right? Here's, again, I'm just extending it across. There's the formation. We break it, we base, we pull back, we touch it, and go. Right? So here's a Harry Potter from before. This is another 25 pips added to the total. Right, in that continuation to the downside. And we talked about an area where there was buying all the way down here. We talked about a profit target at 95.68. And again, all I'm doing is extending lines across. 95.56. Take this, bring it all the way across. Look at that. It hit. All right, and came back and reversed, went back up again. So a couple things going on. Again, this is, this is what happens. I mentioned that the dollar Swiss isn't a big mover. It gets into these trends and then it reverses and does well. It's literally just following what we said yesterday. It's like, oh, I can't move, huh? And now it's moving today. And you can see we just went off the 23.6. There's going to be some more short pressure in this one. I would agree with that one. I do think it. I think it will continue back down again. I think we get down here into the 95.50 range. But definitely been some cool shorts on here. And again, kind of seeing that continuation pattern. We break it, pull back, hit it, and go. And again, finding these larger time frame levels, kind of the same scenario over here. So, kind of, it's cool. It's always cool when it works out. Like, it's funny. I extend the lines and literally set up. They're all sitting in there. So, cool stuff. What we do with it now, I don't know. I would say look for this one to continue weak for today. I kind of like this one long for next week, though. I think once we find, once we find a decent bottom in this one, I think this one goes up. I think this one has more potential to go higher, particularly with the race. Because like I said, I think the Swiss is going to have some problems pretty soon. Okay. Dollar yen. Talked about the rollback. Kind of the same thing. We were sitting up here yesterday. Talked about how this one was kind of in lower highs, lower lows, kind of in a shorter term channel. And it did. It started to accelerate after 6 o'clock once we got into the Asian session. You can see it came back. And if I bring this across, you can see that the 23.6 was a level that people stepped in at 6:30. And again, this is one of those things that sometimes with the 5:30 reversal, you're like, oh, is it going to reverse? Sometimes it's a little bit later. Sometimes today it was a 6:30 reversal. I still like this one short. I think he's kind of the same thing. We're going to see dollar weakness continue to roll in today. Again, that dollar weakness, you can really see it over in the cryptos right now. You're seeing Bitcoin up 9%, Ethereum up 5.5%. It's just going to be a dollar week day. It's just been way too strong, and people are trying to prepare for the interest rate rise next week. So, got to set the trap the right way, and we're doing it early. And again, this 23 level was a decent level. If you guys were looking to get short off of this one, I mean, it's definitely a level, right? There's your level. There's your base, right? And magically, it shows us that, look at that. Base and a pop, and when it came down, again, you would have triggered just a little bit early, but here was your long position at 6 o'clock this morning. Okay, your 1 to 3 is right there, 1 to 3 on the dot, and boom, went right back up and ran into sellers and turned. So this trade is also out. So again, it just I only update TradingView once a day when we do these sessions, so you can see when we had the original one was like down here, right? When we moved it. Right, and moved it over. That's how you find things, these little hidden things when you have these overlaps, these confirmations, right? That's how you do it. But again, Bitcoin, you can see late last night, explosion, right? Ethereum looks the same thing, explosion, and did break through. I mean, this was a great trade short, and now it's kind of using it, right? Up, base, pullback, and then long, right? The continuation. Dogecoin, again, it broke. But it broke sideways, so I wouldn't really say that it was a trend change. You did have a red, green, red come in right in here, and then it just continued higher, but for all the same reasons. Again, this is one of those things where it's like, oh, did it break? Did it change? No, it flatlined and went sideways and broke the channel. So was it really a long? No, because had you gotten long on the break of the channel here, you got stopped out on the way back down again. And they're like, well, what about here? Is it here? Here's where we do it. Wait, it went higher. Okay, we do it now. And then it pulls back. So it was a sideways break. It really wasn't, it basically just stopped channeling and based. And I would say in all three of the cryptos, I would be more short bias going into next week as well. But I think this is a little bit of pre-prep for the interest rate. And again, look at the volatility in TLT, in bonds, right? In the 20-year, it's kind of like all over the place. Quick drop down, right back up again, and at the end of the day, nothing really changes. So crude oil. So we talked about this one being short, and again, we did. You see it? It came all the way down, and then obviously, the late news came out and it pushed it back down again. It didn't get all the way down to 80, which is kind of funny, right? I don't know if you guys saw this number or not yesterday, but this number was insane. This was an 8.8 million surplus. And I said this was going to be a kind of a weird day because, you're talking over here, right? My kid was on my computer, I can tell. You can see that the forecast for API was down minus 0.7, and it came in at 3.6. I was like, that's a big move, right? That's a miss. But over here, they were forecasting a -2 down draw, which is a lot. I mean, that's over double what API was saying. And holy crap, it came in at 8.8. That is a monstrous miss. That's a 10 million barrel miss right there, right, of additional surplus. We got the initial pullback, and now everybody that was trying to short it, seeing that number, they're taking all their money, right? And prices going higher. And again, I think this is people starting to rumble that maybe we won't do a cap, right? We won't do that. So, yeah, kind of interesting that what we're seeing. But again, seeing this kind of the price reinflating is also why we're seeing dollar CAD kind of fall the way that it's doing. So if oil is able to grow up a little bit more, I would say be cautious. We've been in this area a few times, but this was a decent pop base and then a very, very strong push off of it. It's not being confirmed with any fib levels because we're not necessarily close to it. If we wanted to take really coming, here are higher highs again. This is kind of a new start to it. You do see that it is in close proximity to the 61, so it may be enough and in close proximity enough that if price comes up here, when we get to the 61, people will start shorting it, which may also artificially help kind of roll this over. So if you are looking for something, I would say the 87.15-ish level is probably where that one is. I don't know. Is it like the rock solid go? I think it's kind of hard because it's a Friday, right? We're going to kind of run out of time with it. So it's there. I like it. It's not bad. If we open there on Sunday night, maybe there's something in that one. I don't know. There are other trades out there that I think provide a little bit more opportunity, but again, it is not the worst. I don't want to make it seem like that is the worst one. But I'd say 87.18, look for the flip. Natural gas also fine and holding a bit. You can see, yesterday morning we were sitting here. We talked about news. Here, I'll drop this down to a 15-minute. There's your trade setup. You can follow it. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It literally chopped sideways. Hit it. Base. Did nothing. Kind of went higher again, and we're basically in the same spot. So it says that it's up, right? It says that it's up, but is it a major mover? No, it's up 1%, but I wouldn't say there's anything big. But I will say that I kind of feel like this is, I don't want to call the exact bottom, but I feel like this is kind of in an area where we're more or less at a bottom for this. I don't know if we can go much lower with everything that we're hearing. I think, again, comments of shutting gas off, and if one person's like, no, we can't cap it. Again, I think the real threat, right? The real threat of actually running out of gas, I think, is going to keep this one high, right? Or higher, right? So I would say that I like this level here. Again, there are enough buyers down here. I think this one is, and again, we know we're dealing with this last kind of pop, which is not the cleanest, but it's there. And then, again, I think we have these two levels. So I think either of these two work. 765, right? 765, and again, a little bit more on the aggressive side, 777. So, not bad. Gold. All right, now gold. Gold did come up, and again, we saw that we had a pop through on this one before. We knew that yesterday and had a big, strong push down, and we saw the rally coming back. And then once it came in to the U.S. session around 7:30 this morning, that's where it started the drop. Well, that just happens to coincide with some of the comments that Bullard is making and some of the news that we saw for this morning. So, again, I want to see if there's any more inventories grow, delays the interest rates. I don't know. This is the big one, right? So, gold, again, gold is going to follow and track with the dollar. Where do we go with it now? I don't know that there's enough of a one in here right now. Let's see. Let's see if we'll get a little bit of help. I'm going to have to adjust that side just by a little bit. You can see it's not really a 50, but people will be like, oh, look, it's a 50. No, it's not actually a 50. It didn't tag it. I don't know. I would say right now, I would like to see gold get a little bit of a bullish kick in here. I'd like to see gold go up, right? I'd like to see it move a bit more, right? So there's definitely buyers down here, right? Definitely have some buying going on right there. This we can obviously take and adjust. We'll just delete the old level and put a new one up there. Turn that red. Well, we can take that profit target out now. That zone will bring across. Now remember too, the gold market does close earlier. 1706. Could we get a pullback to 1706? Yeah. I don't think it's a trade setup for today, right? Not a trade setup for today, but if we can get down to that level, I think that probably could be a decent buying area. I think next week in preparation for, again, all the FOMC news that is coming, it's not the worst level, but I think in this one, you really want to figure out how to get this one short, right? Basically, when we get short opportunities. So I think 17.26.77, I think is a decent level again. Be willing to take that short. Again, I think there could be a potential bounce off of this one. Again, not the worst of trades out there. And if we can get back down to 16.92, take that one. Silver also kind of just following. You can see yesterday we hit it, went down, found some more buyers. I think we leave this level on. I think as a target, but we're literally back at that 1862, which is kind of been acting like a magnet. I'll extend this side across. You can see we ran into it, and that was a short off this level. So again, had you traded this last time, you may have wanted to take it again. And it got close. It didn't breach the top, but I would say that I probably would not take another short out of there based off of how far that one is now pushed in. Um, hmm. Yeah, probably wouldn't take that one short again. I mean, maybe if we get a new topping pattern in it, maybe we can do something with it. It's just it touched it here. It was good. This one pushed it. I mean, again, it was a good trade again, but let's see if we're gonna get any help in here. Here probably. Eh, it's okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would say again, anytime silver goes up, if we start getting a topping pattern or we get the color change, I would say it's probably a short. I'd like to get short next week for oil for silver. I don't think this would be a bad one. Like if you're looking to get look for kind of a week long base trade. I don't think a silver short would be the worst things to get into. So yeah, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, we'll see where it goes Sunday night. That could be a potential sell for Sunday night if it pulls up. But just again, be aware that this one does close a little bit earlier, right, than the overall markets today. So, the trading opportunity is going to be somewhat limited on it. Yeah, just keep that on your radar. Yeah, nothing we can really else. We go with that one. Let's cover VIX. VIX down 3, as it should be. I mean, there's nothing really. The news is out today. There's nothing crazy for the United States. Everything that we needed to know, we know. No major headlines for us. There's the EU summit, but it doesn't affect us too much, so we should be good to go on this one. As far as indices go, they're all in the green. Not surprised whatsoever. Again, having the market. I mean, people look at this and like, well, wait a second, shouldn't this be straight down? I mean, all the data is bad, right? No, it's not. I mean, knowing that the 0.75 is probably what's in removes uncertainty from the markets, which is kind of what the market wants. It's better that the market knows that that's going to happen, and that's a positive sign, versus having absolutely no clue what they're going to potentially do with it. So it's technically a good thing, right? And there's no earth-shattering news today. So we did push up. I would say now we are actually through this level, so we can remove this now. And let's see where we go with this one next. We'll continue to pull this one up. So yeah, so that's actually pretty decent. This could be actually more of a next week kind of thing right there, but we're going to pull that there. Let's drop it to 15 and see how opening prints would have looked today. There you go, 915 right there. There's your base. There's your entry. Let's throw our longs on. This one is out, I can tell you right now. 1 to 3 is right there. Okay. So again, there's your 1 to 3. All right. 1 for 1 so far. And again, right now I would say be a bit cautious. I wouldn't be surprised if this one chops back. There's not really any sellers necessarily supporting that yet. And there is up here, but it's got a little bit more to go. Something along those lines. I would say this is where a potential reversal comes in for today. 41.12.75. It's all right. But again, opening print is kind of what the main thing that we're looking for. Whoops. There's your opening print. NQ also looks exactly the same. We pulled back from the 9 o'clock window into the zone. There's your zone. Did the zone hold? It did hold. So this one also obviously straight up. Pushed it deep though. Pushed it deep. 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So 2 for 2. We can remove this and clean this now. Look at all the basing in there. We're good there. All right, so let's talk about this level here. Okay, so NQ is closer to that flip. And again, being closer to 1030, this was where that reversal would come in. Again, afternoon gets a little soured. I actually don't think today would be a horrible day to have it stay green all day. After the week we've had thus far, I think a Feel Good Friday makes sense today. I think it wouldn't be horrible for the market. So it's, we're kind of right there, but if there's going to be a reversal today at 10:30 this morning, it doesn't mean that we still can end on the green. That's where it's going to come in at 112. I'm sorry, 12,632. But again, 2 for 2 on prints. This one looks like it actually went a little bit deep. There's the zone, and whew, it just peeked its head out just the other side. So again, with Nadex and options-based product, you were fine on this one. Actually, the 930 was here. So, depending on your broker, you may, or if you're a futures contract, you may or may not have gotten stopped out. It did just peak afterwards. If it was Nadex though, or any option-based product, you were good to go on this one, and it's going to be the same result. I do have to put it a little bit low so it draws it correctly. 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So you can see well past at this point. Let's see where this one turns and flips to. Boom, boom, boom. We're at the little hiccup right now, but probably safe until most likely up there. It's stuck right here right now. See that right there? That's where we're at right now. Bring this across. So yeah, a little bit more to go on this one. And again, if we open up here Sunday night, that could be a decent short too. If you guys are looking for something. So yeah. 1 sec. All right, Russell. So Russell appears. Russell, I don't know if you got the entry. You can see it pulling back, and I'd have to say that this would have been kind of where the zone was, but it looks like it would have just missed it by a little tiny bit. Again, you could have used this other one over here, but typically when they're in that close proximity, you can always use a closer one. So I have to say, in full transparency, this would not have been an entry. Nice to say that we were 4 for 4, but 3 for 4 is not bad. 2 were guaranteed, depending on your broker. If you were with an optionable product, you were 3 for 3. So it would be, I guess, in a most conservative sense, 3 for 4 for entries, and 2 out of 3 were profitable wins. And again, if you had an optional product, you were 3 for 3 for opening print today. So all cool little opening print trades today. Let's see, what do we got here? Honestly, Twitter looks more like it's a sell at this point. Based off of this, we gapped down, pulled up, and we're not running all the way back up again. Smashing this basing, for me, I would say that, kind of Twitter looks like this is more of a short, probably back into the 40-50 mark. Apple, again, rallying up today. It's nice to see it up 1%, but looking at the gap and what's happened when we've been up in this area before, we're just kind of bouncing off of it. And the fact that it's 10:30, it's kind of like, it's currently 10:30. It's reversal time. We're sitting up in an area of sellers where they've come in just a few times in the past. So, Apple could be at its reversal stage right now. And then Tesla, again, Tesla popping. Let's see what we got for Tesla over here. We're good in Tesla, so we got some room to run in Tesla. This has been an area where it's been big, but it looks like we got a little bit of room to run. So Tesla's in an okay spot. So maybe Tesla will hold it. We'll hold the group up, and that will help us end. Oil looks like it's pulling back a little bit. Yeah, it's pulling back again. Dealing with the 50, not surprised. So let's see what the dollar is doing now. Yeah, dollar again. We're trying to go back to where make up for the overnight stuff. Yeah. So it looks like 109 is going to be the thing. Sorry, I was looking at the other chart. I think this comes back up again. I think the rest of the day, the dollar just kind of slowly reinflates itself. Yeah. So again, it's Friday. Unfortunately, guys, that's what happens. That's why I hate Fridays. There's just so much missed opportunity on Fridays because it's just, a lot of the movement happens in the European session. Last night, it was a lot of the overnights. Everything was triggered at 10, 11 o'clock p.m. and, used this morning to complete. And then, again, U.S. session was kind of almost kind of the end for the day. So, yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and do the giveaway. So Marina won yesterday. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to get in. Look at this. No Will. Ernest is in today, but no Will right now. So Will is slacking, or maybe it's Friday. He's just taking off. Could be that too. So, all right, I'll give him about another 15 seconds, and then we will go ahead and call it quits for the day and the week too. I mean, again, there's been some really great setups this week. So, again, no shame in cutting out early on a Friday. You worked hard all week, and that's, you guys know my opinion on Friday trading. It's kind of like, if you're not done by this point, if by 11 o'clock you're not finished, it's easier just sometimes to just get out of the market and be done. And, again, no point in forcing a trade over the weekend. Just not worth it. So, all right, let's close it down. I guess no Will today. So, Will's obviously missing, but Marina's going for 100. Everybody else is going for their 25. Winner of today's drawing is... Oh, look at that. Look at that. She comes back with a double. Maybe that's why Will was here. Will's like, you know what? Marina's due for a double, but I can't bear to witness this one. So, look at that. Congratulations, lady. Congratulations. Look at that. She's got her two. Again, vigilance, the city says. We'll use Asian currency. Look at that. Look at that. Winning two. It's been a while since she's won a double. So, and I'm in third place again. Oh, are you? Are you? Oh, look at that. By 6. By 6. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nero's like, that's okay. Fine, I'll put the hacks back on. That's what Nero's saying. Nero's like, fine, I'll just win it all next week again. That's it. That's it. See what happens, Nero? You be nice for just a couple days. Let other people get a chance of winning and see what happens. That's how they treat you. So, all right. With that said, I'm out of here. Again, we'll probably get a little bit of headlines between these two. Again, they've bumped. I think actually Waller was a different color earlier, but they've bumped up Waller at this point. So, there's some movement in there. Yeah, we'll see. So, just want to let you guys know, have a great weekend. Again, thanks for joining me today. And if you guys were this week as well. And again, it's nice seeing, numbers are rising. We kind of took a little bit of a break with, obviously with the Nadix thing, but it's great seeing everybody come back again, and have a great, safe weekend. And I will catch you guys on Monday morning. Take care. Have a good one, and see you then.